are those financial tips you should know as you venture into goats farming? One, it's good to take a record of your finances. How can you make it simple? Usually for me, based on my experience, I developed a financial template that can help me to put in inputs for everything I'm spending on farm. That cut across the breeding stock about goats. I have to make sure that I put in that amount I've spent. If I've used transport, I make sure I add transport on the amount of goats I've bought. I divide by the number of goats, that's the cost of that goat. So I make sure that in my spreadsheet, I feed in the cost of the structure, I feed in the cost of the feed, I feed in the cost of the project expense of the caretaker. Why? If you don't track your expenses, you're not doing a business. So it's advisable for you who is venturing into goats farming to have to be knowing that. Take record of your finances by accessing such financial spreadsheet or template that can track. In that same template, you should be able to be knowing how many goats you expect to get after a given period of years. For instance, we've seen that starting with 20 goats in the next 3 years, you'll be having at least over 300 goats. Meaning that every year you should be able to put inputs of the kids produced. Because here it's already showing you that I've started with 20 goats, in the third year I'm expecting 20. It should be reflected as you do stock taking. Because each goat represents money. It's an asset, it represents money. So it's very important to be knowing that. Secondly, other financial tip is about expense on farm in relation to with the drugs or medication. It is advisable to have drugs on your farm. For instance, we've seen these are all varieties of drugs, which I have here. These drugs help me to cut down the costs. If I'm to invite a vet to support me on my farm, I have the drugs already. So meaning that the price is negotiable. If I don't have this and I invite him to see to have nice goats, they are healthy, he's going to charge me based on the type of breed I have and the standard I have. At the end of the day, I'm going to get frustrated. Why am I going to get frustrated? The expenses are going to be so overwhelming as compared to what I'm earning from them, from my project. But if I have my drugs here, I can say per goat, 1,000, depending on the number. It's cost effective. But if a vet comes with a drug, it means that you have to base on his tunes. You have to dance on his what? On his tunes, because you don't have the drugs. So it's wise to have your own drugs at farm, so that you can be able to manage your expenses, so that you don't spend more than you expected. So it's one of the I think second tip. And secondly, financial tip is spend on the right breed. How do you spend on the right breed? Get knowledge about the type of breeds which you are going for. Because I can sell you a local which is not going very fast, but instead of I've sold you a hybrid, which is more presentable, which is good looking, whereby if a person comes to your farm, you want to start a farm, also looks for the good thing, not a poor quality goat with a bad pedigree. So it can be represented in financial terms, in terms of what you put on your farm, in terms of the money you are going to invest in. I don't know whether that makes sense to you. It is paramount to invest in the right breed, because all that money. Yes, so as a third tip, it is very important to know that. Cost effective when you plan your feed so that you don't struggle to spend more by following the season. If you know that you are going to the season are changing, that this is a dry season. Dry season is now December, between December and January. Make sure that that's the dry season. Make sure that when January comes, March, where we expect some rains, make sure that you reserve the grass, which you are going to use in the rainy season. Prepare the grasses, that can be put under storage. For instance, hay or croys, you can harvest it, pack it, keep it in a storage for the rainy season. So that you don't keep spending money for guys to go around the highway road to cut for you grasses, which were not even safe, how good they are. Even they don't have even vitamins or carbohydrates in them. Nowadays, there are grasses that have vitamins and carbohydrates. There are grasses, the type of grasses that are planted, which you can prepare for that season, so that you don't always spending to buy out. So here at my farm here, most people come to get grass from here. I tell them, you can plant your own grass. They use the fuel to transport from there from this farm to their farm. They are spending instead of planting it there, so that they go to the garden to do their farm, to the field to cut it, or they get from their storage. So it's quite effective to prepare for the feed for the goats, depending on the weather changes. Okay. Yes, so to make it cost effective than employing people who are going to running around for grasses on roadsides.